taking a little break from my detox session. I've been since the you'll have to excuse that. I am walking down a major road, so it's probably gonna get pretty loud with traffic and whatnot. And even though it's nighttime, it's just a little under 10 o'clock, so it's still gonna be a lot of traffic. And yeah, I just got done doing a little 5-hour session in the sauna, and oh, never mind, I thought I saw something. And I know what y'all thinking, saunas are down at the gym, and as they've been since the pandemic hit, which is why I took it upon myself to buy a portable steam room. So that's just what I just got finished coming out of, and I thought I'd take a little break by basically taking a stroll throughout the city. In the meanwhile, I'd like to address something that has come to my attention concerning the city of Memphis, a city that I abandoned 3 years ago. And I want to make it abundantly clear that I did not leave the city of Memphis. I did not, as in I packed my bags, drove my car to Memphis International Airport, ordered a boarding ticket, and flew to Denver, Colorado. That's not what happened. I escaped Memphis. I ordered a Greyhound ticket by which one of the ticket saleswoman screwed me out of some money, and by the time I realized it was too late. She screwed me out about $20. And it was my mother who drove me in her car to, I'm pretty sure y'all can hear that. That's why I'm going to try to stay away from the major roads, because like I said, that's commonplace, where it's going to be all kinds of buses and ambulances driving up and down. So I'm going to just, stay out of the main streets for a minute. But yeah, that wasn't just a simple departure. To sum it up in a nutshell, the way I left Memphis, that was an escape. And the most recent news that I've seen, that I ran into yesterday, because every now and then, every blue moon, I'll check back on Memphis and see how Memphis is doing, and usually I'll see some bullshit going on, like the corruption, just kind of like the corruption that we saw with this lady stealing from me, stealing $20. But I said fuck it, because the money that I make in Denver will make up for all that bullshit. And see, what I discovered yesterday just proves just how much Memphis is simply an ain't shit city, a city that ain't about shit, and why it justifies everything that I've said about it, everything that I've felt about it, and it justifies being back even for the sake of visiting the so-called family. Now, I'm fully aware that we got, but there's something that needs to understand about, you all have to understand about, people who ain't shit are gonna be just ain't shit, no matter what. But if you put them in a situation where they're desperate, that level of ain't shitness, for lack of better word, is going to double. It's going to skyrocket. And that is what we clearly see in the city of Memphis. Because when now we're in December now. This is the last year or the last month of the year. So maybe about a week or two ago, I saw the crime statistics. So I heard, or so I assumed, that, you know, Memphis's homicides for 2020 were about 181. So I heard. I mean, and this was just for me looking at, you know, there's this guy who makes this, who's got this channel basically like reasons, like 10 main reasons you don't want to move to this city, that city. Sometimes he says 10 reasons why you do want to move to that city. In Memphis, guess what? You're amongst the many of cities that this man has 10 reasons to not move to. That is the reputation that y'all have rightfully earned. And y'all have gone out of y'all way to earn. So I'm thinking, okay, as bad as that is, at least it doesn't top the homicide rates of 2016, where there was a skyrocket in 228 homicides, 228 murders in the city of Memphis in 2016. So I'm not even, you know, yesterday when I checked, you know, again with my nosy eyes, this time when I checked on Memphis News, I did it thinking that it was just going to be your typical bullshit where somebody stole, somebody got kidnapped, somebody got raped, somebody got shot, somebody got beat up. Somebody got killed in Fraser. Somebody got their ass whooped in South Memphis. You know, just your typical Memphis bullshit, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, well, at least the homicide rate, as bad as it is, because it ain't never good. Because in 2017, it was just a little under 200. In 2018, it was just a little under 200. And even in 2019, it was just under a little bit of 200. And as bad as that is, none of those years, not even 2019, last year, came close to the homicide rate of 2016. None of those came even close to 228 homicides. So to my bewilderment, Memphis, my bewilderment, and I've said this about you motherfuckers, I've said that y'all love to sweep y'all's bullshit under the rug, and that is exactly what my channel is for, is to take your bullshit and expose it. So anyone who comes to my channel, anyone who listens to my content, will know what they're dealing with when they're dealing with a city and looking at a city like Memphis. Because to my bewilderment, Memphis, I get on, I think it was Channel 3 News' website, and to my bewilderment, I get on this motherfucker and I see that you have ranked, or you have totaled, you have a score, a homicide score of 320 23 homicides. You have a score, Memphis, as of 2020, with us having about 9 more days in this year left. You scored a whopping astronomical of 323 homicides. And you know, the news channel was saying 200 and about 284 of those being murder. And I was like, well, hell, what do the other remaining 39 or 40, however much it was, of those homicides count as if they weren't murder? Isn't homicide and murder the same thing? Unless you're talking about a suicide. Unless you're talking about, you know, euthanizing a motherfucker. What do the others count for, if not murder? Memphis, your murder rate, your homicide rate this year was so bad, was so astronomically, exponentially high. They compared you motherfuckers to Los Angeles, a city that is 6 times larger than you. And they said that their homicide rate was like 321 something. It was just a few numbers fewer than yours. And I would say, well, for LA County, that's bad too. But again, we have to understand something. Los Angeles is 6 times bigger, 6 times larger than Memphis. Because I was looking at that website that I was talking about that shows all the cities that, you know, and the reasons why you don't want to move to those cities, where it said that Baltimore had about, you know, some 320 something murders. And I was like, damn, they shooting it up in Baltimore. You know, they lighting shit up in Baltimore. But I had no idea that much murder, that much mayhem, and that much chaos was going on in the year of 2020 in Memphis. And all I can say to myself, I mean, because the news wasn't really reporting it like that. I mean, they was, but back then, and it wasn't like that was just a terrible long time ago. That was probably 4 months ago that, you know, they was talking, and I saw it. They were talking about, you know, in 2020, the homicide rate having the capacity to, having the capability, not capacity, the capability, the possibility of having as many, you know, having a homicide rate at just as high, if not even higher, than 2016. Well, Memphis, it seems you didn't disappoint. Because not only do you have a homicide rate as high as that of 2016, you have a homicide rate damn near twice as high of that of 2016. I'm like, damn, man. Niggas been running and gunning, ain't it? Y'all been looting and shooting, ain't it? And see, you would think that a group of people who, you know, live in a city as big as Memphis, because Memphis ain't necessarily, it's a city, but it ain't necessarily a big city. it's actually, even with the skyrocketing amount of people who live there, it's actually what I would describe as a small city, in comparison to cities like Atlanta, Los Angeles, New York, which I hear, New York crime has been, through the roof. But I'm not here to talk about New York. I'm here to talk about Memphis. The city that I know, the city that I escaped from. Because I already know what to expect in a place like New York. They show, like, I look on the news, I look at certain channels, they're telling you who they are. So I know better than to stay out of a place like New York. But you would think some shit like that, you would think some statistics like that, you would think that shit would be embarrassing. Where you reach record numbers in homicide comparable to cities that are six times larger than you. In other words, you killing more motherfuckers than places that, again, are 6 times bigger than you. 6 times your size. Or you're on their level. Because as bad as it would be to have about 321 homicides in a city like Los Angeles, that's nothing compared to the way it used to be, where the homicide rate back then probably would have been like 2,000 on average, because the whole beef between the East Coast, West Coast, the Bloods and Crips, all that bullshit that was going on back in the 90s. So what I'm saying is, you're killing at a rate that's just as high, if not even higher, than major metropolitan areas in this country. Major cities. And I'm just here to say, I'm not here to say that, I'm not here to offer any kind of encouragement, like, oh yeah, come on Memphis, we need to we need to get it together, man. That's fucked up, man. No, like, let's not get this twisted. Let's not get it twisted. I'm here basically to say that it justifies everything that I have done as far as me getting away from Memphis and me staying away from Memphis. This record number homicide rate justifies that shit. And another thing that it reveals that you truly are a city that ain't about jack squat diddly. So everything that I endured, everything that I suffered, everything that I learned, and everything that I had to unlearn, coming from you motherfuckers, this right here just shows and proves that you motherfuckers ain't about jack squat diddly. And hey, Memphis, I just want to be the one to tell you that. Consider it a Christmas gift, even though I don't celebrate Christmas like that. Consider it a Christmas gift from an ex-Memphian. Somebody who had to endure your motherfucking ass. Somebody who had to escape from your motherfucking ass. Because Memphis, you have always had this just this violent streak that you've gone out of your way to sweep under the rug. Like, it don't mean nothing that that there's so much blood being shed in your city. And I'm just here to say, there's no hope for motherfuckers like you. There's no hope for a city that operates like that. And you know what the saddest part about that is that I just saw something about Penny Hardaway. And I remember as a kid watching Penny Hardaway grow up and how he played for the Memphis Tigers. You know how they would play back at the Pyramid, and now he's pretty much the coach for the Tigers. And I've heard of things that are just now being revealed, by the way, as far as how he's been held at gunpoint, going through certain parts of Memphis. And the saddest part about Memphis is you got so many people in that town who has so much love for a city that ain't got nan kind of love for them. And for the life of me, I just don't that is a sad story. Ain't that, to me, that is a sad story. It's almost Shakespearean, damn near. Like on some Romeo and Juliet. You got this sad case of unrequited love between the Memphians, who are loyal to Memphis, and then the city and the spirit of Memphis that don't give a flying motherfucker about these motherfuckers. And what better story, what better example of a Shakespearean tragedy or whatever the hell you want to call it than the sad sob story of Lorenz and Wright? What you niggas did to Lorenz and Wright? Lorenz and Wright 10 years ago. I'm like, damn. Really, Memphis, damn. Really though, damn. You kill off your best. So I'm just here to tell you that there's just no hope for a motherfucker like you. And everything that I've done these past 3 years, as far as not only getting away from you, but establishing a foundation in a whole new city to make sure that I never have to come back to a motherfucker like you, has been everything but vain. It's been anything and everything but vain. Because I hate to boast, I hate to brag, but Memphis, I'm still here to quote the story. I'm still here to tell. I'm here to report this shit. The motherfuckers that you killed, the 323 motherfuckers that you put in the ground aren't. And the saddest part about that is the vast majority of them probably liked you, probably loved you. Men, women, children. Because Memphis, we know you kill children. That's what you do. You kill 8-year-old kids. I saw that shit. They was talking about some 8-year-old boy who got shot. And back then, that was back when the murder rate was about, the homicide rate was about 302, something like that, back then. And how long ago was that? I don't know, and to be honest, I don't care. Because even for it to get just a few numbers past 300 is beyond ridiculous. You motherfuckers have truly made Memphis history. Because in the 27 years that I was subject to Memphis and all its bullshit, I have never seen a murder rate, a homicide rate that fucking high. Not even in 2016. And And like I said, back in the earlier part of this year, people were worried, or at least the news channels were expressing concern. I dare even say the police director was expressing concern that this year might see a homicide rate similar. They said similar to that of 2016, meaning that it may be a few numbers below the homicide rate of 2016 or a few numbers above the murder rate of 2016. But being the extra milers that y'all are when it comes to murder and mayhem, you motherfuckers added 100 to that shit. Damn near. So 226 plus 100 minus 3. As yet, so far. Like I said, damn near doubling. Damn near doubling the murder rate that we saw back in 2016. You know, since I've been out here, you know, there are a lot of Angelinos out here. I can't tell you how many people from Los Angeles that I've seen and run into out here. And you would be amazed, even more amazed, that not only people from Los Angeles, but I've met people from Minnesota, people from, because, you know, you got a lot of people who come here. And because of the pandemic, I hear tell that even more people have been moving to Denver. And you know, with me being off and all, now that I'm enjoying my 2-week vacation, you know, like I said, I feel like a tourist in a city in which I'm practically a resident. Because even though I've been out here these past 3 years, I've been following this rinse, cycle, and repeat routine of going to work, stacking my bread, and doing everything that I got to do to make sure that, you know, I'm amalgamated in Denver County. And that I'm not fucking up, I ain't bullshitting, I ain't doing nothing that would end up sending my ass back to Shelby County. And you would be amazed how many people simply do not know about Memphis. Simply do not know about the murder, the mayhem, the chaos, and the carnage that goes on in Memphis. I can't tell you how long it's been since I've seen a sad sob story of some little 2-year-old or some 8-year-old getting shot in the head. Because that ain't really the culture out here. They don't kill kids like that. And there's plenty of crime in Denver. It's a lot of crime in Denver. They got their little scumbags out here. Thievery is more, but, you know, thieving is more of a problem out here. And I think I told y'all about, you know, like things like pedophilia, you know, shit that, like I said, I have yet to encounter personally, but if I ever do, you already know what time it is. Because I'm gonna deliver that business, and it's gonna be on site. But aside from that, you would be amazed how many people, even people coming from Los Angeles, who have no idea just how bad Memphis is. And I have to tell them, because they thinking that, oh, I'm from Los Angeles, my city is bad. I'm like, nigga, my city is bad. And I've never set foot in LA, let alone California. But as a native Memphian, as an ex-Memphian, I'm willing to bet that my city is just as bad, if not even worse, than Los Angeles. It may not be as bad as Chicago. It may not be as bad as East St. Louis or Detroit. but it's damn near getting there. Or Baltimore, but it's damn near getting there. Close enough. Shit. Memphis niggas crazy. It is something pathologically wrong with the Memphis Negro. It is something wrong, spiritually wrong, pathologically wrong with that city. It is impossible to live a normal, functioning life in a city with that much murder, with that much mayhem. That is not normal. Even for cities where crime is kind of a thing. The only solution when it comes to a city like Memphis is you need to pack your bags and get the hell out of Dodge. That's the only solution. There's no hope. There's no hope for that city. Y'all can take this however y'all want. Y'all can take me for a fool and think that, here I am just, here he goes again, just making another rant video about the city of Memphis. Because I was bruh, how long has it been since I made a video about Memphis? It's been quite a while. I was willing to put Memphis down, leave it alone, just leave it where I found it. Don't even say shit about it. Hey, let bygones be bygones, I guess. In fact, I was even considering going back to Memphis to visit at some point. But with these numbers, with this rate of homicide going on, pandemic or not, I don't give a damn about no motherfucking pandemic. I don't give a damn if the pandemic has caused the influence for people because they were talking about on the channel on the news report that there's so many people who are now because they lost their jobs and whatnot and they got family pressures and so they're taking it out. I mean that's what makes you dangerous. The fact that you're taking it out on random. So anybody who you taking it out on family members. You're taking these pressures out on anyone who just happens to be at the wrong place at the wrong time dealing with you. And I know how you motherfuckers are. You could be in Memphis where a motherfucker might have lost his job, so he decides to blow off his steam by checking your ass. And then you check his ass back. Now he pulling a strap. Talking about he shouldn't have checked me because I'm going through some things. So he decides, because he's going through some things, to alleviate that pressure, to check your ass like you finna just sit there and let him check you. And this is how you Memphian, this is how you lose. This is how you lose. You can't win to lose. It's hopeless. Y'all are hopeless. Y'all are just hopeless. That city is hopeless. It ain't no hope for a city like Memphis, bro. Just y'all need to get up out of there and let the motherfucker burn. It's kind of like that old song, the roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn. Burn, motherfucker, burn. Let that city burn. It's over. It's OV. It's a wrap. It's through booking. Y'all know I'm an ex-Memphis native just by the slang that I use. Y'all know this ain't no filter. This ain't no bullshit. Y'all know I ain't no native Denverite ass nigga. I'm a new Denverite, but I ain't no native to this motherfucker. I'm just out here again starting my life anew, and I've been doing just that. All the fucked up shit. Memphis, I just want you to know all the destruction that you attempted to bring in my life, bad credit, due to coming from a city that was so fucked up that I couldn't even get the money together to combat that bad credit, whether it comes from the fact that I haven't really, owned much of anything, or student loan debt, things that I am responsible for myself, but at the same time, I'm in no kind of financial position to even address those things back when I was dealing with you. I'm just letting you know, I'm here to rectify all of that bullshit. Because it dawned on me, I've had a lot of time to think about this. It dawned on me that as a black man in Memphis, Tennessee, there's a certain position by which you're supposed to uphold. And it kind of goes back to what I was talking about a few years ago about the mud seal theory. And in a nutshell, that's pretty much it. You're supposed to be in Memphis. You're supposed to be a thug. As a black man, you're supposed to be a thug. You're supposed to be a scrub. Because when you listen to my channel, you're not talking to someone who's been in and out of jail, who's about that life, who's an active gang member. Because dude was talking about the Memphis police director was talking about all this crime boils down to gangs, drugs. He said something else in domestic violence. I forget the fourth one. It was something. But I know he said, for a fact, he said gangs, guns, drugs, domestic violence. That's bullshit. Be that as it may, because that's life in Memphis. That's every day in Memphis. He seemed, strangely enough, he seemed to have left out the element of poverty, of abject poverty. How do you miss this shit? He seemed to have left out that the reason why you go to a city full of gangs, guns, drugs, and domestic violence is because poverty plays a huge and significant role in all of that bullshit. He didn't tell you that. He didn't tell you that Memphis is third in the nation in poverty. And when you're dealing with societies that have a high level of poverty, you can expect high levels of crime. You can expect high levels of theft, of